Yeah. This is a Gimme 5 show with Jay Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it right now. Wait until they see the strength and hear the win. It's Black College Live, I'ma need 5 on it. If they put overtime on it, lights out.
It is college football season coming to you live and direct on the campus of North Carolina A&T State University. They've got a big matchup taking on their rival, North Carolina Central. But we've got a lot on the show, folks, a whole lot. We'll hear from both coaches, Sam Washington from A&T and North Carolina Central head coach Trey Oliver. We'll also give you our power rankings. We'll do our Gimme 5 and a special tribute to a North Carolina A&T legend. But let's start off giving you caught up in the world of HBCU sports with our news and notes. Big announcement, we got to pay homage to we're losing one of our leaders. North Carolina Central Athletic Director Ingrid Wicker-McCree has announced that she is retiring at the end of the school year. She meant a lot, helping North Carolina Central transition from a Division II program into a FCS program. Ingrid, you're my girl. I'll miss you. Thank you for all that you've done. Hey, what about some football? On Thursday night, there was a classic matchup between Alcorn State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. The interesting storyline here was this: the fact that Alcorn, last time we saw them, they were the defending SWAC champions. And then you think about Arkansas Pine Bluff, Doc Gamble, they won the West in the spring football season when Alcorn didn't participate. Well, now Alcorn, due to realignment, is now on that part of the bracket, the Western Division, and it was a classic shootout with Alcorn emerging victorious by 1 point. And as Coach Fred McNair says for the Braves, can the champs lose a title without them being whooped? Interesting week. We got a whole lot more coming up when we leave. I want to hear some more of this band, and we'll be joined by Tiffany, who's on assignment with Trey Oliver.
The core of us all burns a passion for greatness. It's the rhythm of our hearts, the desire to ascend to greater heights, the drive to persevere and push beyond expectations. At North Carolina Central University, we fan that flame in an innovative and inclusive community driven by a relentless pursuit of excellence. It's here at NCCU, in the heart of Research Triangle, that you will soar with the Eagles and discover what's central to you.
You fired up the grill for one hot dog? Seriously?
Hot dogs, better with Pepsi.
This is where the formula ends and the magic begins. We take the mold, shake the mold, and break the mold. From late nights in the gym to later nights in the library, we grind. Because if you think greatness is a game, think again. Here, nothing shines unless we all do.
Less than an hour away from where we stand is Durham, North Carolina, the home of North Carolina Central University, home to 8,300 students, founded back in 1910. And Sam Jones, an NBA Hall of Famer, used to play ball for the Eagles. How about Harold Hunter as well, the first African American to sign a contract in the National Basketball Association, along with Al Stewart, who's currently the acting U.S. Secretary of Labor. Coach Oliver, second week in a row you guys are facing in-state rivals that were once conference foes. What would it mean to pull off a win like you did last Saturday?
It'll be big. I mean, it's big for the university. It's huge for our alumni and, you know, our fans and the Durham community. You know, we played hard last week. We didn't play as well as we wanted to, but we fought to the end and pulled out a close one against Winston. But these in-state rivalries, you know, it's good for bragging rights.
You played in this game, so what does this rivalry mean to you?
It's a dogfight every year. You know, as a player, as a coach, you know, two teams with a lot of tradition, a lot of history, a lot of passion. You know, go out and battle and give it their all. But it's always a very physical football game.
Now, Coach Washington recruited you, so what is it like to coach against him now?
I learned so much from Coach Washington. You know, he's a great person, great man, great coach. I guess more so the preparation for the game. And I always thought I was a student of the game. And we had the opportunity to work together. It was like, it was very, very, very smooth. But we had chemistry, and I think the biggest thing I learned from was the competitive edge and preparation. I have not talked to him this week, and I'm sure I'll see him out there probably about 5 o'clock on Saturday.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Let's give a shout out to a couple of performances. What we saw last week, Aggie-Eagle Classic, we told you, get to know the name, remember the name. This gentleman may very well be playing on Sundays. The Alabama A&M quarterback last Thursday put up 234 yards and 2 touchdowns in an important road win in their SWAC opener against Bethune-Cookman. And then one of those money ball games, how did Florida A&M fare? Well, they didn't come out with the victory. However, Marquise Bell, who is a ball hawk for sure, had 15 tackles to lead the way for the Rattlers to go along with a sack, tackle for a loss. He was the SWAC Defensive Player of the Week.
Being a champion is about more than just strength or training. It means you believe you can be the best. At North Carolina A&T, we applaud our Aggies on the U.S., Mexico, and Liberia teams. We also applaud thousands of Aggies who are champions in their own right, from creating self-driving cars to changing the face of STEM careers. We often say, Aggies do. Don't think for a second that Aggies are ever done. A&T, home of champions.
We are the SWAC. Our heritage lifts us to great heights because my history is forged by trailblazers. That motivates me today to focus on my future. We are the SWAC. We are the new trailblazers. And this is my heritage.
This one's for every sports fan who just spent the entire game explaining to someone the entire game. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Welcome back. Well, our star watch this week, Mr. Jawan, I gotta keep ballin' Carter for Norfolk State University. The quarterback was 23 of 30, threw for 353 yards, and check this out, 5 TDs as well in that convincing win over Elizabeth City State University. And the Norfolk State Spartans are in action once again here this afternoon. But North Carolina A&T State University, located in Greensboro, North Carolina, the largest HBCU in the country with an enrollment of better than 13,000 students. It was founded in 1891, and a number of notable alums have walked across this campus, including Ms. Clara Leach Adams-Ender, the former chief of the United States Army Nurse Corps. She was the first African-American Nurse Corps officer to graduate from the United States Army War College. And Ronald McNair, one of the astronauts for NASA in that unfortunate Challenger accident, along with Mr. Dwayne Board. How about the 4-time NFL Super Bowl champion? Well, you mentioned, yes, the largest HBCU in the country, but also North Carolina A&T is home of the reigning Celebration Bowl champion. The Aggie football team has dominated. Also, track and field, home to a couple of Olympic gold medalists as well. They have been balling on all fields of play, some top-notch academic programs as well, like their School of Engineering. And when you walk on campus, you automatically will hear that Aggie pride. But to think back to the students who once walked this campus, you hearken back to the winter of 1960 and February 1, which stands out amongst all dates for North Carolina A&T students, because that was when 4 brave freshmen staged a sit-in at a North Carolina Woolworth lunch counter to protest segregation. In the heart of campus, what do you find? A $96 million beautiful student center facility. It's state-of-the-art, has literally everything that you could ask for, want, and more. Well, we gave you a taste of how great North Carolina A&T is. Another big reason, standing right next to me, the head coach of the North Carolina A&T football Aggies. It's Sam Washington. And Coach, we appreciate the time, but I gotta know, going into a game like today, a rivalry game, once conference foes, now what kind of feel does it take on this time around?
Oh, well, high energy. I mean, high magnitude, high everything. This is one of those games where you need to bring popcorn, candy, and maybe some barbecue.
Now, you are very familiar with the opposing coach and Trey Oliver, having been around, coached him, been on staff with him. But for you, going into today's game, kind of give me that sense of what type of frenemies you're going to be today.
Definitely not friends, but you know, he's one that I always have admired and respected, you know, as a person and as a football coach. But I'm just excited to compete against him.
Obviously, you all competing now in the Big South. This rivalry still is impactful. It was at the end of the season. Now it's now. Before, you used to have sayings like, you know, come on in, bring me my money. So here today, you're going to bring me my bragging rights? What's it going to be, Coach?
That sounds like a very good one. Bring me my bragging rights. But let's say, let's put the ball down and let's play.
All right, come on. He got to give it to me. Bring me my money.
money.
Hey, we'll be back with more from Black College Live on the campus of North Carolina A&T State University. Jay's Give Me 5 Power Rankings. You'll hear it all when we come back.
Being a champion is about more than just strength or training. It means you believe you can be the best. At North Carolina A&T, we applaud our Aggies on the U.S., Mexico, and Liberia teams. We also applaud thousands of Aggies who are champions in their own right, from creating self-driving cars to changing the face of STEM careers. We often say, Aggies do. Don't think for a second that Aggies are ever done. A&T, home of champions.
When was the last time you experienced something different? Dig in to support Black-owned restaurants.
At the core of us all burns a passion for greatness. It's the rhythm of our hearts, the desire to ascend to greater heights, the drive to persevere and push beyond expectations. At North Carolina Central University, we fan that flame in an innovative and inclusive community driven by a relentless pursuit of excellence. It's here at NCCU, in the heart of Research Triangle, that you will soar with the Eagles and discover what's central to you.
This one's for every sports fan who just spent the entire game explaining to someone the entire game. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Black College Live is brought to you in part by the Cricket Celebration Bowl. All right, folks, here in North Carolina A&T, this is a football school, and they got this thing they call Aggie Pride. And throughout the long, illustrious tradition or history of North Carolina A&T football, nobody has shone brighter than the star of Elvin Bethea Elvin Bethea played here for the Aggies, and he's an Aggie legend. For more on this legend in Greensboro, let's take a look.
Nobody expected a Hall of Fame career from Elvin Bethea, a big prospect out of North Carolina A&T. But the Houston Oilers took a shot, drafting him in the 3rd round. As it turned out, Bethea wasn't just the best defensive end drafted. He would prove to be one of the finest defensive ends of the 70s. His size enabled him to muscle blockers aside on the way to the quarterback. But what set him apart was his remarkable speed and agility. When he wasn't chasing quarterbacks, he was using his ability to get a quick jump into the backfield to shut down his opponent's running game. Elvin Bethea was a force to be reckoned with every NFL Sunday. And when he said every NFL Sunday, he meant it. Bethea started at defensive end on opening day in 1968. He suffered an injury on November 13, 1977, and missed the following game, having started every single game in between, 135 of them. Official stats on quarterback sacks were not kept during much of Bethea's career, but unofficially, he led the Oilers in sacks 6 times. One impressive number was duly noted. Bethea played in a remarkable 8 Pro Bowls. Bethea was such an important part of the Oilers' defense, the team asked him to put off his retirement for 1 season. When he did retire, he held the franchise record for the most games played. His unofficial career sack total of 105 and his single season mark of 16 are franchise records that stand to this day.
How about it? Elvin Bethea, truly an HBCU and North Carolina A&T legend. Now let's take a look at our power rankings this week. And there's been some shakeups as we go through the list. Coming in at number 5, it's North Carolina Central University, the Eagles. At number 4, it's Buddy Pugh's South Carolina State Bulldogs. Number 3, the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. At 2, it's Jackson State University down there in Jackson, Mississippi, representing well in the SWAC. And at number 2, that's okay, but they're not number 1. The number 1 team is still Alabama A&M University. On the bubble, not quite making the list, Florida A&M and Prairie View A&M. But here's what I'm thinking about. Buddy Pugh at number 4, South Carolina State. I need y'all to win some football games. I think you guys are the best winless football team in America right now. Obviously, with Arkansas Pine Bluff losing on Thursday to Alcorn, there'll be a change there. Look for the Braves to make an appearance. And hey, what else can you say about the number 1 ranked team in HBCU football? Alabama A&M continues to roll and find a way to get it done. Well, we're here in Aggie. I need some Aggies. Where the Aggies at? Aggies, y'all come on here, Aggie. Let's so since y'all have all this stuff y'all got down here, I felt lonesome here. My partner in crime is not here, Tiffany Greene. So here's what I'm gonna say, and y'all can tell me you can approve. Back up, man. It's my show, man. You're trying to take over. All right, here we go. Couple things here. It's time for this week's Gimme 5, and here are the 5 things that I think you must know about North Carolina A&T. Starting off, number 5, February 1. The students that did the sit-in at the Woolworth counter will go down in lore for taking that brave stand. Y'all agree with that? You gotta know about February 1 here? Number 4, how about the 4 celebration bowls that North Carolina A&T not only participated in, but that they won? Number 3, something that's kind of new school. North Carolina A&T has a world-class track and field program, including some gold medals that they won. 2 is debatable, but you got to know about it. You know I'm a Howard guy, so I disagree with it. But number 2, they got something down here they call GHO, the greatest homecoming on earth. They know how to homecoming here. And the number 1 thing about North Carolina A&T, if you don't know, you got to know. Can I get a Aggie Pride? Aggie Pride! They teach them that big time down here. My daughter even goes to North Carolina A&T. That's how hot they are. On the bubble, not quite making it. This is a football show. Shout out to those legends we talked about. Elvin Bethea, and y'all remember the name Tariq Cohen? Give it up to Tariq Cohen, all they did. We got more on the other side as Black College Live continues here in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Core of us all burns a passion for greatness. It's the rhythm of our hearts, the desire to ascend to greater heights, the drive to persevere and push beyond expectations. At North Carolina Central University, we fan that flame in an innovative and inclusive community driven by a relentless pursuit of excellence. It's here at NCCU, in the heart of Research Triangle, that you will soar with the Eagles and discover what's central to you.
Welcome back to Black College Live, presented by Pepsi. Oh yeah, you know it's time for the Greek of the Week feature. And this week's fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the first black Greek fraternity founded in 1906 on the campus of Cornell University. Their mission, develop leaders, promote brotherhood, academic excellence while providing service for our community. The colors are the black and gold, and joining me right now on the set are some of the brothers of the Beta Epsilon chapter here at North Carolina A&T of Alpha Phi Alpha. All right, let's give it up to the Alpha Phi Alpha Beta Epsilon here on campus of North Carolina A&T State University. Some of the most famous alums of A Phi A, Martin Luther King Jr., Thurgood Marshall, W.E.B. Du Bois, and how about my brother-in-law, Montez Anderson, my road dogs, Doc Wilson, Craig Stevenson, and we also got Will Packer and Donald Driver. Hey, there's gonna be some football game here played here. And joining me now on the set, the lovely cheerleaders of North Carolina A&T University. Well, let's talk about this football game here. It's rivalry football. It's Central. It's Aggies. It's Aggie-Eagle. They go way back. Even though North Carolina A&T is no longer a member of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, North Carolina Central is. And you know what? Anytime you're talking about rivalry football, anything goes. A&T has been the pride and joy of HBCU football for the past 4 or 5 years, without question. The one team that whenever they get their act together can give the Aggies trouble is North Carolina Central. How can North Carolina Central win? Well, second-year head coach Trey Oliver has the Eagles soaring in the right direction, coming off an impressive victory over Alcorn in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. But North Carolina A&T yet to win a football game. And that's why they're dangerous. Running back Jermaine Martin is yet to get on track for the Aggies. If he shows up in a major way, look for A&T to have a chance of winning this football game. Like always, I never predict the game because that's a little bit of a conflict of interest. But I got my homeboy with me making an appearance, this chef, Coach Jay. Before I ask for your prediction, can you tell me what I got on my plate this week?
You have some Alabama ribs.
Alabama ribs. He bought them from that.
Smoked chicken.
All right, smoked chicken, Alabama ribs. Time for me to eat. Time for you to say so.
Hey, I'm 2-0 Jay and Tiff, and I'm going to make the Rydell pick of the week.
Rydell pick of the week is?
North Carolina A&T. Aggie Pride.
Oh, man. All right, that's what he said. We'll see how it plays out on the field. It's been a ball. I want to thank the drum line from North Carolina A&T. I want to thank NFL Films, all of our sponsors, the ladies, the outfit, everybody. It's been fantastic. Keep it up. We'll see you next week from Tallahassee, Florida, here on Black College Live. Black College Live is brought to you in part by the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
is a Gimme 5 show with Jay Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it right now. Wait until they see the strength and hear the win. It's Black College Live, I'ma need 5 on it. If they put overtime on it, lights out.